Okay, what's going on, world? This is Derek Dunn with Reviews&Dunn. I'm here with Mr. Stokley Williams for part 2 of our interview discussing this legend's career. And how are you doing today, sir?
Absolutely good, man. How about yourself?
Good. Just like I said, still dealing with this coronavirus stuff, but it's giving me time to work on my writing and do some
there you go.
soul searching.
Use the time wisely.
Yes, sir. So when we left off, we were in the process of discussing your newest project forthcoming. Right now, you have the single out called She's the name, right?
That's right.
All right, so tell me a little bit about She. What was the inspiration behind that song?
That's simply about, man, the many facets of the person who inspired you. That's just, next to you day in, day out, the most important person, your significant other, whoever that may be, and just acknowledging and appreciating and uplifting all of their many attributes. And that could be good and bad, I'd look at it as inspiration because sometimes, things that you may think are negative are actually a positive. It's going to help you grow. So it's just appreciating the many aspects of a woman, or whoever that person is for you,
Yes, sir. Yeah, it has a very uplifting, motivational type of feel to it. And, for me as an R&B fan, I'm always appreciative when a singer, no matter how old you are, when they're actually singing about love and uplifting, our queens, as opposed to trying to down talk them or just sing about, sex and whatever. It's like just the art of chivalry is kind of missing in a lot of today's music. So it's always refreshing when I hear a male singer show appreciation to, our queens, because they are, our rib and they are part of our everyday life. So that's very refreshing that you're staying true to your sound and staying true to your morals and not trying to just do with everything that's on the radio now, like, trying to appeal to a younger demographic by using auto-tune or, having just a rapper just to have a rapper sing about gibberish.
Yeah, it's multifaceted. It's like I talk about all that stuff too, but it's like you got to balance it out a little bit. It seems too one-dimensional. I try to be as multi-dimensional as I possibly can, which is natural for me. I'd like to do a lot of different things. I see the world how I see it. It comes out how it comes out, and hopefully I'll get some like-minded people to agree. And that's all anybody's doing out here. So, this is my offering, and I think it's a good thing. So, yeah, I'm glad that people are digging it.
What can fans expect on the new album? And what can fans expect on the new album, and how it's going to differ from the first album, introducing Stokely?
Well, for me, it's like any artist, you want to grow and say some things. Sometimes it's an extension of what you put out there, which it's that too. It's all of the above. It's an extension of what introducing was about, and then it's just some growth to it. It's more of about how I am, just again, this multifaceted person as far as the production and people that I'm working with and all that kind of thing. So it's just a little bit more paint. You know what I mean? It's I can show you better than I can talk about it, and it's energetic. It's, like I said, multifaceted and very, hopefully very interesting to you as it is to me making it, and a lot of fun. So, yeah, it's going to be a lot of different things, and I think a lot of fun. It'll be stuff you can dance to, stuff you can paint to, things you can clean up your music to, ride to, whatever mood you in. Hopefully that'll get you through your day, get you through your year, get these moments and create some new memories. But it's amazing. I'm having a fun time making it with my friends and, whatnot. And it's just I can't wait to share it with y'all. So stay tuned.
Is the album done? Are you still putting the finishing touches on it?
Couple little splashes here and there, but I'm almost about to put paintbrush down. I'm almost about ready to put the paintbrush down. We actually started mixing some of it too, so ready for the second single. That's done in the can, and yeah, a lot of it is going to be a lot of it's done. I'm just putting little finishing touches on it. Might be a couple of things that I add. It's always that way. It's like at the end of a project, there's these new ideas that come it just explodes, and you're like, shoot. So you'll get some of that too. So Yeah, but I feel it's amazing. I love it. I hope you all love it as much as I do.
Cool, cool. Do you have any collaborations planned for the album that you can share with the fans?
And say it again. Collaborate? Yeah, you'll have to see some of that. I'll talk about it in a couple of them. I'm still trying to gather up, but I definitely have had my wish list, and we've been working on that for the last month or two, if not longer. And because just syncing up everybody's schedule and everything. So when everything is in the can, we'll kind of touch back in a little bit, and I'll let you know what that is, who that is, why that is.
Got it. Speaking of other artists, over the past weekend, you noticed a lot of artists were doing living room concerts for their fans on Instagram, on Twitter or whatever. Is that something that you consider doing to pass?
Oh, absolutely. It's before this thing has even started. Yeah, absolutely. To me, I look at it, it's like, we're out working, every weekend, sometimes during the weekdays. It's the same thing in different venues, so it's the same thing. It's just virtual right now. So I just haven't had a chance. I've been doing my own little stuff, but I want to engage with my fans and people who are wondering what's going on, what are you doing, how are you feeling right now, and just so I can check in with all my peoples and and reach out and let them know I'm with you. Of course, it's while we're all on this kind of worldwide, postpone situation. But yeah, for sure, absolutely. Just half not yet, but I've been enjoying, everybody doing their thing. So it's been a lot of fun and staying connected like that.
Yeah, I was talking to some fellow journalists. I think like now is really the time for artists to get out there and just remind your fans of of who you were. Let your fans know some of the stuff that they may have forgot about. And I've seen so many I've seen so many Instagram live sessions where you have DJs coming out playing music, and then somebody remember, I remember where I was, when I heard Mint Conditions, 1991 album.
Exactly.
Or, I remember where I was when I heard the '96 album. Like you forget just how good music is. And I think right now the one good thing about this whole coronavirus thing, in my opinion, is that for entertainment-wise, you're stuck in the house with your family, so just turn off, disconnect from the internet, disconnect from everything else, pull out a CD and just throw it on, cook some food up, and just vibe with your family. Because I know when I was coming up, before the age of the internet, it's like, there was nothing like, having moms cook a meal, throw on a 12-inch album while she's cooking, and then you sit down and have dinner, and the music's still playing, and you're totally connected with your family, just vibing and discussing music and being organic and natural and not, being disconnected from your family. Like, that's one thing that's kind of been lost as technology has taken over, our daily lives. It's just the sitting down at the dinner table, talking about your day, talking about music and whatever else. So
exactly,
that is one thing to come out of this. Like, it's a chance to reconnect with your families.
That's right, man. I mean, that's so important. You forget before you know it. That's why at the end of the day, at end of our lives or anybody else's, you're like, I wish I would have, could have, should have done this because to spend more time. This is forcing us to remember that. It's really important because it's really, the most valuable thing we got is time. We can't get any of it back. So it's really important, each day, what you do. That's why people like, everybody's time is important, So, yeah, with family, that's everything, man. So, this definitely makes you reflect on it, makes you look at it, and forces you to do it like right now, be in the moment, which is the silver lining. You know what I mean? So hopefully we take, we come out of this thing, we'll remember that and try to set some time aside more often than not.
And I had a couple of questions from a few of my followers and a couple of compliments. First and foremost, my mother wanted me to tell you that you sang the mess out of the Isley Brothers' "Make Me Say It Again, Girl" from the soundtrack. She told me, you're one of the few people that actually sang a song better than Ronald Isley.
Oh, wow. That's okay, but I don't know about that. That's a hell of a compliment. I just did my offering, my in the spirit of him. You know what I mean? Just I love the song so much. Yeah.
It's not a shot at Ron. I'm just saying she's saying you sing it better than Ron.
All right. I mean, however they receive it, I mean I appreciate it. Absolutely.
Secondly, my wife is a drum fan, and she wanted to tell you guys that you guys did an amazing job on your cover. Frankie Beverly and Maze is back in stride on their tribute album.
Oh yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It turned out really, really nice. Yeah, the whole project was great. The whole project was killer.
And the last cover that I wanted to ask you about was some of my fellow DJ fans. They all said that you guys did a great job on covering After the Love Is Gone from the Earth, Wind & Fire tribute album. I was on the same.
Oh yeah, that was another great project. We were fortunate to be a part of, and also, one of the highlights of my career, if not life, meeting Maurice, and before he passed away, that was just like asking him everything I can think of at the moment, and it was he was just as gracious and spent his time with us, just sharing his stories, man, because I was asking him everything I could think of at the time, because he's been such an inspiration for me, for the band, for a lot of bands, you know what I mean? But for me, it was like everything.
Yeah, Maurice was well ahead of his.
Oh my God! I mean, we actually did a tribute for them, the Trumpet Awards through them, and they've had so many different tributes, and they had said that we did it's the best tribute that they've seen. They've seen a lot of people do tributes to him, and said that was the best one. Because, we like to, dig in the crates, for things that, just the stuff that people would never dig out, which is what we did. And they were like, man, they were like, wow, they were asking us, what song was that in between there when you did this segue? He was like, yeah, man, that's from Your Faces album. You know what I mean? They're like, wow, yeah, that's right. Verdine was always very animated and just very, Brother Ralph Johnson, and, they were just all, and Philip was amazing. So that was a great uplift, and just one of my highlights, one of our highlights, Well,
that's what it's about. I mean, it's always about not just focusing on the, like we were talking about in part one of the interview, not just focusing on the hits and the stuff that's on the radio. Actually going to the album, and you find so many gems when you hear the album. As a music critic and as a music fan, I would always buy an album, and I would just play it from start to finish, go in, read the album credits, actually get a feel of the artist's work, and then go back and listen to it again before I can say that before I write a review. Because on the first listen you're kind of grooving, the second listen is critique, and then the third listen is where you actually start feeling. I mean, even with Mint, you guys and stuff, man, it's like there's so many album tracks that are just, fire, but the singles too, but the album tracks be hitting too. Yeah. So it's like, you can throw on a Mint album and just let it ride, and especially album number 2 and album number 3, from start to finish, those 2 albums, I put those against any other album out today, and it kills it. It kills it, especially.
You like making a full, comprehensive art package, man. I mean, that's what it is. Trying to make a journey out of it. Those who really like that kind of thing really enjoy it. So that's, it's not these days. You can pick. It's like it doesn't matter. You can pick one song, and that's all people will do. It's just they'll put it to a playlist and all that kind of thing. But if you really get into an artist, your thing is to make it a journey. Listen from top to bottom, and or however you want to listen to it. Just enjoy it. We make it. Or even still for me, I make it from top to bottom, from here's what I think of it, here's what I would like to hear first, or I'd want them to listen to this first and second, just as one continuous journey, kind of a little flow, for me. Now, they can break it up these days and, make their own playlist, so that's just a different thing, but still I operate like that, and that's how we operated back then, too.
Yeah, I mean, but it's and I get that. I mean, I get where it's just how music is nowadays. It's where you can just really just drop you can really just drop like one hot song for your fans and call it a day and get people to stream that one new song. But when you look at iconic bands like Mint, I mean, you guys have enough quality music and superior stuff to just tour off your old stuff, and it's like it'll be good for the rest of your life. And what I respect about artists like yourself is that you guys aren't going to put out anything mediocre just to throw it out, because you already know that you have quality stuff to tour off of. And I think a lot of artists make the mistake nowadays, not saying any names, but I think a lot of artists make the mistake nowadays of trying to cater to that young demographic. And it's like, personally, I feel like you don't have to, because once you kind of achieve what I call once you kind of record your Thriller and you can tour off that one album for the rest of your career, you really don't have to cater to this young demographic, because they aren't the ones going to see you live. They aren't the ones shelling out hundreds of dollars to sit front row while you're performing, because
I think one thing I'll say is that is what people usually do, especially artists. You're trying to reach new heights. I think as an artist, speaking on behalf of artists, the consumer probably feels that way, and that's why sometimes like, why they do that? Because it's like every day's a new day. It's like you don't read the same books as you did like last year, so a year, 5 years ago. You know what I mean? You're trying to grow. So I think sometimes the consumer might have a different outlook. Like, I want them to stay this way, but we always keep reaching, and whether they want to or not, whether consumer wants to or not, we kind of take them by the hand into a new door kind of thing. And sometimes we give them, we give you all what you don't know what you need until you receive it. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. It's like, oh wow, this is something new. So we don't keep you in the past. So it's fine for artists to do that, to keep their ear to the street and see what's new, what's happening, but don't lose your integrity. That's the problem, where it's like it's feeling a little bit too much, and each artist does it, the way they want to do it. Sometimes, even myself, they're like, well, we like the old stuff you did, and that's still there, and I got stuff on there that's like that, but I'm going to travel a little bit further, as an artist. You see, that's what, it's kind of like the Miles Davis school of like a lot of people, that's, otherwise, how do you change, like he changed the face of jazz like 3 different times. He had the the cool era, had the bebop thing, and and he had the acid jazz kind of thing he did. And a lot of the hardcore early Miles Davis fans were like, what is he including? My dad was like, what is he doing? It's like, when geniuses like that, or just people who are just really trying to reach, they have to follow their heart. And a lot of times people, they're so far ahead of their time. He's a different breed. Now I hear what you're talking about. These folks here now are more like cookie cutter. I'm going to do what's been done, a million times. It's one thing. I'm speaking on a different level, because he was like, man, he was just doing something different. He wasn't doing something that was actually already here and repeating it. Sometimes he would, like when he did the thing with Easy Mo B, he did a hip hop album, but he still did it his way, his interpretation, just letting everybody know that, okay, I understand what's happening right now in this modern day time, but I'm still going to be Miles. So that's pretty much what Mint did, what I'm doing, what every artist pretty much should be doing, even if they're not. You got to keep your sound, your vibe all the way through it. There's got to be a common denominator, which is you. So that's pretty much what you're going to get with even the new Sankofa and everything else that I'm doing, production and that kind of thing. So hopefully y'all, dig what it is, that's coming out and resonate, so that if with keeping that in mind, I think that's the important thing, because you got to, we got to travel to the future. That's what Sankofa's about, is to go back and get it, remember where you came from, remember that, and bringing that information forward. You know what I mean? Just to tie that all in for you. So that's what Sankofa's about.
The name of the album?
That's the name of the album, Sankofa. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, and I totally respect you breaking it down that way, because like when I speak on that with like a lot of people that aren't, I guess, that are maybe casual consumers that don't really dissect music the way that I do, they take it. I'm like, I'm not hating. I'm just saying you explained it perfectly. Like, it's not really hating. It's like I'm all for an artist, changing and trying new things. I don't expect someone to sing about, like, if they were singing about like somebody like an Usher, like, Usher in 1994 with his first album wouldn't be singing about what he's singing about, as a man in his 40s, because he's grown as a man, he's had life experience, so it's going to be different. The biggest issue is with R&B for a lot of consumers is you stray so far left and you're questioning your integrity and your morals, and you don't have to. Like, your fans are still going to support you regardless. I mean, they'll still support you, they'll still rock with you no matter what. It's just once you challenge your own integrity, you lose your fan base. I mean, like, for me, with Mint, first time I saw you guys live at the Birchmere, you guys went into heavy metal, you guys went into rock. I'm just like, cool, like, I'm blown away because you guys are a band. So yeah, you can do the R&B stuff, but Mint's a band, so they're gonna give you different genres of music, and it's all gonna flow and segue very naturally and still sound pristine and perfection because they're a band. So they're going to give you 100% every single time. Yeah,
man. That's what it's about.
Cool. So,
that's about.
Yeah, anything else you want to add? Like, what's the release date on the new single, the new album, and where can fans follow you at on social media?
Yeah, again, thank Cole for coming. After all this stuff gets done, I got to get back in, on the everything back on the docket because everything is pushed back. We'll have to see which month exactly. But yeah, coming out, I hope y'all enjoying. She got the next single coming out pretty soon. I'm sure y'all dig that. Go to all my socials, Stokley Official. That's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and then iStokely.com. I'll be putting some stuff up there pretty soon as I get out of this recording and mixing and mastering mode. And then hopefully real soon be out there on in a city near you. You know what I mean? Meanwhile, stay tuned, and I'll put something up on social media. Just say what's up to the fans and whatnot. Yeah, but just stay safe out there, and follow me.
Got it. And I want to thank you for your time, sir. You taught me a lot, and gave me a lot of information. This has probably been one of my best interviews since I've started my my entertainment website. So be inspired, be blessed, and have a wonderful day, sir. And again, thank you for your time.
You too, man. All right, bro. Peace.
Bye-bye.